As you may have seen in my colleague Neil Tappin's tech video earlier, R is back for TaylorMade in 2015. The R15, again, as you'll have seen in Neil's video, offers a serious amount of tech, return of the white or the black, depending on what you want to choose from. I've just returned from a full fitting with Adrian, who actually works on the TaylorMade tour van, does a lot of work with Justin Rose, one of the most qualified fitters you're likely to meet, who has taken me through the product, full fitting, and I'm just going to give you my thoughts on it. Interestingly, SLDR last year, personally for me, I dabbled with it for a little while, put it in the bag for a little bit. I found that my longest hits were up there, but dispersion wise couldn't compete with some of the other brands out there, so it didn't stay in for long. It was a very different story today with R15. Adrian set me up with exactly the same specs as I was using previously, got me hitting balls. Immediate thoughts are the head shape on both models looks great. I was very much drawn to the 430, which I think looks absolutely stunning behind the ball, very classic, combined with a return to white, which to me looks great. It was really nice to see that familiar look of the black face and the white head, which we've seen from our versions previously. Really gives you a feel for where the club is aiming and gives you confidence that there's loads of loft. Impact sound, absolutely fantastic. I loved both the sound and the feel on offer from both models, but for me in particular, the 430. Interestingly, I've never used the smaller headed models when a 460cc has been available to me, because I didn't feel that they were as forgiving. But on the Trackman and during the fitting today, we actually found that the 430 was a much better offering for me. One of the main reasons for me not getting on with the SLDR was I was missing shots left, which I never do. I play with a fade all of the time. Bad shot is normally a left to right, which I can cope with, it's under control, but it was bringing in this left into my game that I really struggled with. What I found with the 430, that was never an issue. I felt I could hit it hard. A slight fade was my stock shot, but it was never hooking, which was great to see. We all are very experienced at fitting in Golf Monthly. We've been fitted for lots of models over the years, but what really impressed me was the extreme effects that these two weights in particular had on the performance of the driver. Very small tweaks from Adrian were actually producing really quite serious changes in terms of the ball flight, in terms of the spin on offer. It was very interesting to see. Adrian has actually just got the product himself, so with myself and Neil, who also went through a fitting, he was intrigued at how much effect that these two weights were actually having. As a result of that, he was really able to dial in the best performance for me. Loft up is clearly continuing. I went up to 12 degrees from the 11 degrees I've been using previously. What it did was it improved my launch angle. It didn't add too much spin. I was actually looking for a bit more spin, and it provided just the right amount. What I would say, it's not going to be a cheap driver by any means with all of this technology. Do not invest in this without getting fitted. I genuinely believe that, because there's so much on offer here that I would never have found on my own on the driving range experimenting, but with Adrian's knowledge, or the knowledge of a fitter with numbers from a launch monitor, it was incredible the effect on offer. You were able to see the changes in ball flight, but I don't think I would have got to the setup that he eventually had me on had I not had his experience there. Shaft offerings, fantastic. Again, it was really interesting to see the effect that those had. While this is always the case when you get fitted, combined with his head, it did have dramatic effects on the performance on offer. One of the things which Adrian found very interesting was that the misses were not as extreme as in the SLDR, so numbers weren't changing quite so much. So my bad shot, which is out the neck, which is a big cut, the numbers weren't as bad as you would have anticipated with shots that really did miss the centre of the club. That means that they're able to dial in the numbers really towards your optimum strike, so your shots out the middle of the club, because your off-centre strikes aren't being punished as badly. Like I say, it's a really good performer. Both models performed really well, but the 430 personally for me is an absolute winner. Classic looks behind the ball, but with so much technology that with a fitter you can really dial in, and by the end of it I felt like I was really getting the most out of my golf swing in terms of the distance, carry-on offer. Most importantly, this wasn't affecting dispersion. So overall, the R range promises to be extremely impressive for TaylorMade. Like I say, you need to get fitted if you're going to invest in one of these, but if you do so, the results I would have thought are going to be really decent. This joins a number of excellent models in the driver category for 2015. There's so much decent product out there, but this one is certainly up there with the best of them.